It's a weird day. We're doing something a little different.
Are we?
Well, normally we do this on our Thursdays,
Oh yeah.
but
I kind of fudged up.
no, you didn't fudge up. Come watch us talk. Gotta tell all the peeps that we're doing something different because we had to take some time. We took a day off. Hage.
Off early, huh?
How do you say that? H-A...
Like Hajj.
Hajj. Hajmana. Hajmanita. No, we had to take a separate day, or we picked a different day to do this because not yesterday, what is today?
29th. Today's 29th.
So Wednesday
Wednesday.
Wednesday was Connor's birthday. Chef celebrated 29 years of living. How do you feel?
I feel 29.
Do you?
No.
You know what I don't
29?
get? 29?
29?
That's what I don't get is like, at what point do you actually start feeling like, is there a birthday where you wake up and you're like, fuck, I'm old?
Oh man, I was actually talking about this with a friend the other day. We were talking about how it's like scary, and I think I brought this up that I still don't feel 29. The past few years have really kind of flown by.
Mm-hmm.
Past 5 years in particular, just pew. So I still feel like a kid.
Well, let's see.
Am I still gonna feel like that in 5 years?
How long have you been back home? 5 years? 6?
Late 2014.
So you're coming up on 6 years.
Moved back to the Quad Cities in November of 2014.
Okay. So 6 years. A little over 6 years.
Yeah.
And then it's just been kind of go, go, go. You know, you got, oh, what was the place out in, like, Bettendorf that you came to? Pleasant something.
Oh, Pleasant Valley.
Yeah.
I was working there.
Came to Pleasant Valley.
The Valley Inn.
Almost got attacked by a ghost who threw plates.
Oh, that's a what? I should look into like pulling up videos when we're on here because that is dynamite. If anyone like doesn't believe in the afterlife or supernatural things, I got a video for you.
Most people will say it's fake, but
I don't even know if you could fake that.
It's aggressive.
I really don't know because the way that the plates come off, I've got a video of plates like aggressively one at a time being pulled off like at lightning speed.
It wasn't one at a time. It was almost like
it was one at a time, but it's like pop, 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 pop.
Making it rain.
It was like
plates.
It was seriously like making it rain plates, but faster than like any human can push plates out. And if it was because it's a stack of plates that the bottom they kind of like concave into each other, so it doesn't move. If you shake the table, they don't move. Or if they do move, they move as a whole pile because they're formed into one another. So we tried like pushing everything, and those plates would like fall like a tower if it was natural. But it was pop, 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 really fast.
It was like the whole stack too. It wasn't like, because like if somebody were to like smacked it from behind, there still would have been like a bunch of plates on the counter.
Yeah.
Like I think it got all the plates off the counter and onto the floor.
Yeah.
Huge fiscal nightmare. But
back to like not feeling like still feeling like a kid. I kind of feel like I don't know, 2011 to 2014 was kind of a wash. Like that's just all the time. 18 to 21, I feel like did that even happen? Did I hibernate during those years?
20 to 21 was...
Or I guess 2010 to 2014.
I mean, it's...
So that would have been 19 to 22 for me.
Yeah. It's different though, like... Because you didn't go the college route. You weren't like...
No.
I'm going to go...
Well, you didn't either.
No, I didn't. I went to the factories, which sucked. I think. Well, I think my first year.
I tried the college route.
I didn't.
I tried.
I didn't even bother. Not even close to my speed.
I did
of
1
what I
year.
wanted to do.
I did 1 year of college.
You gave it the old college try.
I gave it the old college try.
That's. I've been thinking about that stuff, like those stupid expressions that people come up with. Gave it the old college try. Like who gives it the college try? Like that.
Then you realize like it's just not for you.
I guess, but like the college try can be fucking expensive.
College try is
because what a year at some colleges is like $5,000.
Oh, at least.
Oofa.
Oh.
That's community college.
That's like the cheapest college you can find, man.
Yeah. I'm not doing that.
Find a college below $20,000 a year, you are succeeding.
Really?
Yes, really.
God, I'm glad I didn't
Yes,
know.
they're usually 20 to 30 grand a year, man. It's insane.
That's not necessary. And then like now,
It's
what I wonder is,
insane.
how are they still going to charge that amount when
you can't be really on campus that much?
I mean, you could be stoned and drunk, and I mean, it's
Augustana was $50,000 a year. Yeah, private school.
Fuck
State
that.
schools, I mean, when I was looking at colleges, state schools are around 23, 24, 25,000 a year. They're probably like 30 plus now. State school, it's just insane, man.
But yeah, okay, so the college try now. The college try back in the day was probably like, you're going to go to house parties, you're going to go and get blackout and go listen to a lecture in some big auditorium for 2 hours and not retain any of it and whatever else. But like nowadays, what you go and you sit and you look at a computer screen for a couple hours. Like, how are you still going to charge somebody $30,000 to stay home? Like, you can't do that.
Nah.
But they're still gonna, because they still have to pay these teachers and shit.
Right.
But to me, it's like you're not getting the full college experience. You're not getting drunk before you go to class, puking in the trash can, never studying but still turning in an essay that you copied off of some dude from 10 years ago and get an A+ on it. And like the professor's such a burnout himself that he's like, man, this article is like really good. And then you're sitting there thinking like, yeah, you wrote it in your college years. I just fucking copied you.
You wrote this essay.
You wrote it. Oh no, man! I don't think I could ever do that. Oh.
I love the haircut, Turtle.
Yeah. Trimmed the sides, rocking a tight little bun. I'm having a hard time with it. I want to shave my head.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I've actually never seen you with a shaved head.
Yeah.
I've never seen you with a shaved head. Ever.
Probably 2013.
Really?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And that's when I was away.
Yeah.
I wasn't living nearby.
Wore a lot of hats around that time. But yeah, now it's, I don't know. Like, it's such a good bun. I hate myself for taking this bun out, but I'll show y'all how long and...
I got you pretty good with that zinger at your...
Which one?
Your wedding shower.
Oh my god. What was it? Who takes longer to do their hair?
No.
Oh.
We're playing the shoe game where I don't know, voicing off scenarios, and then they raise...
That's how long my hair is.
They raise the shoe of whoever person they think it applies to more. And so my last question was, which one of you is more likely to throw your hair up in a bun?
This guy. It's...
Zingers.
I don't know how girls do it. Having long hair can be...
That is long, man.
Dude, it is so
Holy
long.
crap. Holy crap.
It's fun to get my hair braided. Doesn't look like a bad comb over. I look like Cousin It is what it looks like when I have it down in the front like that. Like I should be walking around going. No. We're talking about different haircuts that I could do where, like, I could just trim it shorter. Like, if I braid my hair, so if I braid my hair like 2 or 3, I get that Viking look, which, so we're Swedish. We've got traces of Swedish in us.
Okay.
And
I do too, but
the
we're
Swedes,
mutts.
the Swedes were like considered Vikings. So I'd like to think that there's a chance that I have like Viking blood in me.
Maybe.
Doubt it. But at least when I...
Looks like a bad comb over.
It's not a bad comb over. But at least when I, like, braid it, I feel more like a Viking. Not when I have to do, like, the double kip up to get out of the couch, you know, because my belly's so big. But, you know. Or when I'm heavily breathing just from tying my shoes. Which is why I mostly wear sandals and boots.
I'm not convinced that I still know how to tie my shoes. Because I just I keep them tied and I just slip them on and off. I'm not convinced that I remember how to tie my shoes.
I think I have one pair of shoes outside. Even my work boots, they have the zippers on the side.
Yeah.
So like I just zip them up.
Zip.
Yeah, I don't think I've tied my work boots in 2 years. But no, I'm talking about wanting to shave my head, and if I do, I want to shave it myself. Like, okay. I want to take the clippers and I want to take a swipe. Because I saw that in a movie called Lords of Dogtown. About
we should shave it like
on here?
No, we should shave it like freaking Charlie Hunnam and Ryan.
Oh, with a samurai sword?
Yeah.
Ryanhurst?
Ryanhurst, thank you.
So I have 2 samurai swords at my house. We're talking about never wanting to grow up. I have 2 samurai swords at my house on my wall. What happened
to the Velcro tennies?
I'm not there yet.
I would like to.
That's straight geriatric.
I would like to be
like there. That's when you can't do the bunny and the swoop and the pull and...
I don't do the bunny.
What do you do?
I don't know what it's called. It's like one loop at a time, and then you like...
One loop at a time?
I do this one loop, and then I don't know how I do it. It's not the bunny, though. It's not the bunny, and then you like twist them, and...
I make an ear, I wrap it, and I push it through, and then I pull it tight.
Yeah, that's not the bunny, though.
No, that's the loop, swoop, and pull.
Okay, I do the loop, swoop, and pull. And I had to figure that out on my own, because when I was a kid... learning how to tie my shoes, everyone's showing me the bunny, like the stupid bunny. And they're like, you twist it, and it's... No.
I hate bunnies.
Yeah, loop,
Easter's dumb.
Loop, pull, and...
Loop, swoop, and pull.
Loop, swoop, and pull. Okay, yeah.
Loop, swoop, and pull. Yeah, I do wear Crocs now. It's not Velcro, though. Crocs. Okay, I talked mad shit about people that wore Crocs. Because...
Ooh, so did this old chef that I worked for.
What, he talked crap about him?
Did I ever tell you about this?
Maybe, but tell me again. I don't act like I've never heard it.
I actually had a pair of Crocs that I wore at my first kitchen job.
Okay.
When I was first starting line cooking. And after he made this comment, you bet that I switched shoes. He comes in, he's like, Connor!
What?
I don't know. That's just...
I'm sorry, he said what?
Connor!
Connor? Did he squint? Was he a squinter?
No,
okay.
he wasn't. No, he wasn't Asian. But that's just how he said.
I didn't say that. I didn't say it. I just asked if he was squinting.
He had an accent, but that's just how he said my name. And so he had said like Crocs. Wearing Crocs, a man wearing Crocs is like getting a blowjob from another dude. It feels great until you look down and you realize you're gay. That's what he had said. And so I couldn't wear Crocs. I felt if I wore Crocs...
Oh, so you're homophobic.
It was sacrilege.
Huh? You won't let a guy suck your dick? You're scared of gays?
Dude, this is 2011. Like, this was 2011 when he said
that. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's tough to bounce back from.
Yeah.
And then, did you say that at the start of your shift or at the end of your shift?
Oh, that was right at the start.
Oh, so you had to go the whole...
I had to go the whole shit thinking about that, like, don't look down.
You drop something on the floor, you're like, it's there.
Don't look down.
It's gone. Like, I'm never...
Yeah.
You walk out, you throw your shoes in the dumpster, and you're like, never again! I thought that they were dumb. Like, I had never wore a pair of Crocs. I never put my foot in them. Like, they just looked dumb and rubbery and I was like, that's not for me.
You'd never worn them, though?
Mm-mm.
Now, do your Crocs that you own right now have holes?
Yes.
Okay.
But they've got the fuzzy on the inside.
Okay.
So it's like a moccasin.
Okay.
I've worn moccasins.
Yeah.
I like slippers.
Okay.
Like,
it's like a moccasin.
So, like, to me, I was like, it's like a house shoe. It's all soft and fuzzy on the inside. And I was like, it'll be great to, like, jump out of bed, throw my robe on, jump into my Crocs, and, I don't know, go on with my day. But, like, started wearing them outside.
You check the mail and
Oh, yeah.
and then you go to the neighbor's house and then you go to the grocery store.
Stepped outside to let the dogs out, and then went to the mailbox, and
everyone's got their threshold.
Yeah, mine got pretty far. You know what? Okay, that's a reference to everybody has a what is it? A no pants threshold or
underwear. It's either no pants or underwear.
I think it's
threshold.
underwear.
Yeah.
We love the show How I Met Your Mother. I have watched it through from episode 1 to the end of season 9.
Countless times.
I'd say in the 30s.
Yeah, like countless times.
Like, and then I've also gone back to like favorite seasons, favorite episodes, and things like that.
What's your favorite episode?
Ooh. Shit, that's tough.
It is tough. There's quite a few that come to mind.
I really like the one that I just watched where where Barney and Ted help out Doug getting into a fight. And like Barney's quoting 70s sitcoms where he's just like, what's happening now? Like shit like that.
Break.
And then he thinks fighting is stupid, and then he finds out that Robin, one of the other characters, thinks that guys that fight are hot, and he's like, what? Oh, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna do this. He gives this like big tough guy speech about how he's about to go get in some brawl.
Doug being played by Will Sasso.
Oh my god, Will
Hilarious.
Sasso is so funny.
Kills that.
But it also does like a few throwbacks to like some of the other funnier episodes where like Barney's gonna pick up a lesbian, and like I don't have to see the whole episode to instinctively like know the rest of that line where he's like, tonight I pick up a lesbian, and he looks at Robin and he goes, Robin, let me get your lipstick. Fucking hilarious. Slapsgiving.
Yeah, Slapsgiving's great. I think I don't know if it's my favorite. I've got a handful of favorites, but my most watched episode is definitely the pineapple incident. I actually just watched it last night.
That's a solid one.
Yeah.
What's the one?
I like the ashtray as well. If you're talking later seasons, the ashtray, the one where they come across the captain years later.
And everybody's got a different story.
Everyone has a different story.
Barney just wants to interject himself.
Yeah.
Daddy's home. Bow. No. And like every time his introduction gets shorter and shorter, but they keep shooting off confetti.
Yeah.
I love that.
Why'd you bring that up though? Why'd you bring up How I Met Your Mother? Oh no. We're grasping.
Fuck. What was I talking about before I said it? Fuck. I don't know where I was going with it.
Oh no.
Oh no. I can't remember. I don't know what I was going to be talking about. I got really excited about How I Met Your Mother. And and now I forgot my place. So we were talking about Crocs.
Oh, the underwear.
Oh, the threshold.
Yeah.
See, it all comes around.
Yep, I got you.
Welcome to the brain of ADHD, man.
Welcome to the There's a Turtle in My Soup podcast.
Yeah. Welcome to the Turtle in My Soup podcast, where Turtle forgets everything.
Yeah, where
doing.
there's 5 topics going on at once, and then we're like, okay, but back to that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but back to that topic. Oh,
have you ever
but back to that topic.
Have you ever been sitting on the toilet so long that you kind of forgot what you were doing there? Like you're just so lost in like your phone or like whatever you're doing, and then you're like, why am I in here?
I never forget the objective.
I mean, sometimes you sit there and you're like, did I poop yet?
No, I never do
that. Like, man, my feet hurt. Why am I still sitting here?
Like, why do we talk about poop every episode? I
brought this one in early, too.
Two, when I have to poop, like...
Are you a get her done guy?
I go in, and when I sit down, it happens within 10 seconds. And then I sit there, I wait for it to cool off, and then I wipe.
I think I'm a...
And then I move on.
I'm a rooster. I'm a definite rooster.
No, I roost, yeah, for sure.
Like, I'm usually in there for a half hour.
That's my time.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
Like, that's my alone time. You know, nobody can bother me when I'm on the bathroom. And if someone tries to talk to me when I'm in the bathroom, you shut up.
I dive into all my conspiracies, and that's where I catch up on the news, and I watch my YouTube videos that I'm ashamed of.
Okay, speaking of people talking to you when you're in the bathroom, I was at my grandparents' house a couple of weeks back, and we all hang out like in the dining room when we're over there. They've got a small house. The bathroom is right off the dining room. So they had actually just got a new toilet because for my entire life, like anytime you'd go in the bathroom, Grandma would always be like, make sure you jiggle the handle.
You gotta jiggle it.
Yeah, so that the water doesn't run. And they finally got a new toilet this has been happening my entire life. Yes, I do pee in the shower. Anyway, so I'm going to the bathroom.
Who doesn't? That's how you avoid athlete's foot.
And on this new toilet is a mirror, and it's so strange. I look into the mirror, and it's perfectly angled, like right at my penis. So like I'm looking down, seeing where I'm aiming, right? And I look up at the mirror, and it was like my dick was like staring into my soul. Like it was just looking right at me. So I'm laughing, and they're like, Connor, what are you laughing at? And I go, Connor, what are you laughing at? While I'm in the bathroom peeing, I go, I can see my dick.
It's beautiful.
They freaking lost it. So I get out, they're like, what do you mean you can see your dick? Oh, the mirror. Well, they don't know because, like, my grandpa's kind of hunched over. He doesn't stand up to go to the bathroom anymore. My grandma, obviously. So, like, they didn't realize that the mirror was strategically placed like that. It just had me cracking up.
Do you pee in the shower? Like, why is that?
Yes.
Of course.
I answered yes.
Like, why?
Absolutely.
What are you going to do? Stop the shower and get out and pee?
Yeah,
I mean, if you're showering with somebody else, warn them.
Is my urine caustic and it, like, is going to melt through the pipeline? No.
It's good for your
feet.
It's
liquid. It just goes right down. It's
have you ever had athlete's foot? Have you ever had athlete's foot?
Oh, one time. When I was, I think, 7th grade.
All you got to do is piss on it. It'll go away.
Oh, really?
100%. That's what I do. Like, I get athlete's foot all the time. I don't know what causes athlete's foot.
Boots?
Probably.
Maybe?
Probably. Like, every once in a while, like, I get athlete's foot, I go to the shower, and I pee. But, like I said, if you're showering with somebody...
So, I used to have a captain that would go sit on the toilet so long his legs would fall asleep, so he would just go to sleep for about 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah. Sometimes, you go to stand up and you get the pins and needles, and you're like, oh. I've been there.
I did do that at Grandpa Larson's too, where I laughed in the bathroom, but that was because I farted. And it was like 10 seconds long. And I was laughing. And when I was laughing, I was doing that freaking like machine gun fart.
Were you trying not to just like blow your ass out?
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah, what a fun trip that was.
See, now it's all even though. Everybody's talking about their own farts and pee and whatever else.
Hey, we got to get to the underwear threshold. You had somewhere you were going with that, and we just got off topic.
I have made my threshold my mailbox.
Your underwear threshold is your mailbox. Okay.
I've gone out to the mailbox in my underwear.
Is your mailbox on right off the street, or is it right outside the door?
Down by the street.
Okay.
I made that journey, and I did it as a challenge to myself. Like, I didn't do it when it was like, it's not like the school bus was picking up some kids, and I'm just like, hey, how's it going?
Okay.
You know, like, I did it at like a pretty relaxed time that I went out to the mailbox and just grabbed it. I was in like boxers. I wasn't in like boxer briefs or anything, so it could have been like just looking like some shorts or something. But
Okay.
yeah, I made that journey, and I felt proud of it.
You
And I
felt
realized
proud of
that
it?
most people are probably like, it's pretty weird. It's a pretty weird guy, but I don't care.
Well, they usually have a robe, you know.
I do have a robe. I should have worn a robe. I feel like that's different. That's hitting flasher territory. Like,
Well, you can be naked under the robe. Nobody knows.
but that's flasher. That's flasher territory. Like, you might as well be like, oh, I'm gonna wear a trench coat to go get this mail.
It's a robe.
It's like a trench coat though if you're naked under it.
I mean,
The only difference is it's soft. And at that point, it rubs all the good spots, and then you're definitely gonna be in trouble.
What I have wanted to do though is I've wanted to get like a morning paper. This is what I thought about when I was like a teenager. Like someday, I want to get a morning paper, and I want to go out. But when I bend over to pick up my paper, I just want to be backwards, and then just like really bend over. So you just like flash
You
the
wanna show
stickers
everybody
up.
your butthole?
Yeah, yeah, just show everyone what's going on.
I'm not that eager to show my butthole.
Did you learn that from your neighbor John? Hey, Turtle, I think it's story time. Give me a little story about John.
So,
Is he back at the house yet?
he is dead.
Oh,
Not funny that he's dead. I'm not laughing at that.
that's
Just-
not funny.
It's not funny. It's just great that it's not great.
Terrible timing
I
on
am
my
in
part.
yeah, it's that part. That's what I'm laughing at.
Terrible
I'm laughing at the timing. So-
He was an older man. He lived a full life.
He was an older guy. He was in his like 70s or 80s.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, he was an interesting guy. He was a older dude, lived by himself, no kids, no wife.
Across the bridge to pick up food. I have no threshold. Respect.
Decent. Like, wait, to pick up food, like drive through, or like did you drive to another state, get out of the car, in your underwear? By the way, do you say underwear or underpants?
Underwear.
Okay. Get out in your underwear.
What you got under there?
Underwear.
You
Nailed
said
it.
underwear. Curbside.
That's not bad then. They bring it out to you. That's also like, I mean, it's like they're like really looking in there though, and they're like, oh my god, you're in your underwear. But like, quit looking in my car. It's my private area.
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want. in
I
here.
can do whatever I want.
Anyway, John.
John.
He was a friendly guy. He loved to talk. Most of the time, it was whilst I was what about the shoes we wore for the wedding? Elf. What?
Elf looking things.
No, those weren't elf looking things.
Why is looking things a length?
That's weird. They weren't elf looking though. They were nice dress shoes.
I thought they were fine.
They were fantastic. They were a little tight because we have fat fucking feet, but whatever. So anywho,
John.
John liked to talk, but
Rest in
most of
peace.
the time when he did it,
We weren't laughing that he died. We were laughing at my terrible timing on asking about him. Okay.
Connor's good at that.
Okay.
Um,
I'm good at that. Yes.
So like most of the time it's when I was like cutting my grass or something, and like I'd be on the riding mower, and I'd come to the fence line, and he would like, hey neighbor, and like you can only like act like you don't see him twice, and then when he's still sitting there, like I start to feel bad, so I'm like, all right, I'll go over and I'll talk to him, and like he didn't talk about anything interesting, like it was just old man rambling.
Old man rambling. I hope to never do that.
Oh, but it's still like, you know, I try to be nice and, you know, hey man, yeah, that sounds cool. All right, well, I got to get back to mowing this grass. And then he would like go into another story. And then I'm like,
Just turn on the lawnmower.
man, it got to that point. But so as he got older, he started to develop dementia, I think, or dementia, or his Alzheimer's.
All's the timers.
All the times,
That's what you call it.
uh, so his stories got a little weirder, and he got a little more emotional
But
about
did he
things.
remember who you were?
Oh no,
Okay.
no, he forgot my name very quick, and I can't remember what he called me.
Neighbor?
Nope. I think it was something like way off from my name, like Sean or something.
Like Muhammad?
No, it wasn't nothing like that. It was another typical white kid name.
Okay.
But like, and I didn't want to correct him, so I was like, okay, that's fine, and tell the stories. But then he was like, start getting emotional, talking about like how tragic his life was. And I'm like, this old man's crying on the fence line. I have a grass to cut, and I'm like, oh man, I really, I gotta go. And I'm like, man, and so I'd like talk to him for a good half hour most of the time, and no, he didn't offer me candy. I don't think I would not. I would not take that
when
candy.
When he was doing his in his attire.
Oh,
or lack of, just pull out a word that's original from somewhere.
So
yeah, I'll take it.
He yeah. So eventually, what it got down to was the 4th of July was coming around. This was like 2017, and I think it was actually like it was the beginning of July. I was getting ready to. I had just gotten off work, and I was going to be going to out to the bar with some friends. And I stopped at the house to let the dog out. And as I'm letting the dog out, the dog runs to the fence line in the backyard and starts like barking. And my dog never barks, so I'm like, something's up.
Yeah.
And I look over there and I see John. Like I see the silhouette of this John guy, and he waves at me and starts talking, but like my backyard's pretty big and he was pretty far away. I couldn't hear him. So I was like, oh, I'm like, this dude's out at like 11 o'clock at night.
Okay, yeah.
I was like,
so it's dark, so you don't know what you're getting into yet.
So I was like, I don't know what he's talking about. Like, I'll go check on him. Like, it's pretty late for an old person to be up. Make sure he's okay. Walk over there, and I'm talking to him. It's summertime, and like, as I come up, I'm watching the dog run to the other side of the yard. As I get to the fence, and I notice he's standing there like, no shirt on. And I was like, yeah, it's hot out. All right. Makes sense. And then he was talking to me about like, because I told him I was like, yeah, I'm going to meet some friends out at the bar. And he starts telling these bar stories that like aren't interesting at all. And he like steps away from the fence to like point to his house for something. And like he steps far enough away that in my peripherals I could see like all of him.
Yeah.
And I noticed that, like, man, his pants are like the same color of his skin.
He's wearing some flesh-colored yogas.
I'm like, man, that is really weird. Like, how does he get those things? And then, like, you know when you know something's bad and you're like, I really shouldn't look at this. But, like, you just want to make sure that it's as bad as what you think it is.
Oh, man.
And, like, so I looked, like, to see if he was wearing pants. He wasn't. And I was like, well, I got to hit the old dusty trail.
Hit the old dusty trail.
I'm going to bounce, John. You have a good night, sir. Bye. I was like, I didn't think it was that cold out, but okay, got to go. And I yelling at the dog, get in the house. Get in the house right now. Tell him to get in the house, or tell the dog to get in the house, and I take off. And I'm like, well, good thing I'm going to a bar, because I'm going to drink this fucking memory away. Fast forward to July 4th.
July 4th at 7:21 p.m.
No, it was probably more about 9:25
p.m.
Yes.
Oh.
Dark out.
Of course.
A couple of neighbors, like just down the street from me, they're shooting off fireworks.
Right.
And I'm standing in the backyard with a friend of mine, and we're watching the fireworks, and fireworks are going off, and out of my peripherals, I see somebody's standing at the fence line. And I look over, and it's John, and one of the big fireworks goes off, and dude's standing at the fence naked. And I was like, dude. I'm like, this motherfucker. Like, you're in your own backyard. I can't tell you what to do when you're on your own property.
Right.
Like, that's why I didn't say nothing the night before. Like, I wasn't like, ew, you sick bastard. Like, it's your yard. Shit. Like, if you want to take a shit in your backyard, go ahead and poop in your backyard. Like, that's your business. Like, just, I hope you don't step in it. But, like, my issue with this night was that this family down the road...
Pooper scoopers, not just for dogs.
Well, that's why I have a riding lawnmower. You don't got to worry about none of that. But, so, the issue that I had with this night was that this family down the road is shooting off these fireworks. And, like, there's a bunch of little kids out watching this shit. And I'm like, all it takes is one little kid to look in the wrong way and see some old naked wiener.
They don't need to see that shit.
No, I didn't need to see that shit. Let alone like a 6 or 7 year old.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm mad. I'm mad about this because I'm like, now you've gone from like just, free living and, being groovy in your own backyard and whatever to now some pervert shit. Like now you're fucking with some kids. Like, I don't like that. So, I was like, I'm going to go say something. My friend's like, just don't punch him. I'm like, I'm not going to punch an old naked guy. Like, it's not my style. So I go over there, and as I'm walking over, and I'm mad, this dude disarms me, like, right away, because he's like, oh, hey, Billy, how was the bars the other night? I'm like, yeah, John, it was great. Hey, like, just completely took the wind out of my sails.
Hey, speaking of bars.
Yeah. Hey, and he's like trying to talk to me about, like, he's trying to dive right into one of his bar stories from years ago about some spot that he went to. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, yeah, that's great. That's great. Hey, John, are you wearing pants? And he's like, so I was at this bar, right? And he's like, keep going into the story. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, that's great and all. Hey,
hey, so back to those
pants. Yeah, back to the pants thing. Are you wearing them?
Hey, pants, speaking of.
Yeah, and he goes, and he just kind of like, he stops the story and he looks at me and he just kind of like, yeah. Like a little kid that just did something shitty and you're like, did you break this? No. And it's like, so he goes, yeah. And I'm like, it kind of doesn't look like you are. It looks like you're naked, standing out here watching these kids watch fireworks.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm just trying to, like, John, I get it. It's fun to, be adventurous and all. I'm like, but this is not the time or the place. And I was like, you need to go back inside and put clothes on if you're going to be out here. I was like, there's little kids here. I was like, they don't need to see you that. Like, you need to get in the house or I'm going to call the cops. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean. He's trying to apologize to me and whatever else. And I was like, that's fine. I'm like, just get in the fucking house.
Yeah.
And so he goes and he gets in the house.
The sooner the better, dude.
Yeah. So he goes and he gets in the house. And I was like, I was at a dilemma where I'm like, what do I do? Like, that was kind of fucked up. So I went to the house that was doing the fireworks and I told my neighbor and I was like, hey, just giving you a heads up, like, this was going on over here. I'm like, something for you to keep an eye on. And they're like, oh yeah, he's a weird guy. Then they start telling me weird stories about him and I'm like, I don't want to know. Like, I just want to let you know he's being weird back there. Watch your kids. Hide your kids, hide your wife. He naked everywhere.
Yeah.
And so fireworks were done. My friend and I were inside, and I see this shadow go by one of my windows. It was like a quick shadow. And I was like looking at him trying to figure out like, what did I just see? And I said I saw something, and then there's a window behind me that it went by. And they're like, oh my God, there's somebody out there. I was like, what the fuck? And I heard a knock at the door. I was like, what the shit? I go to look out the door, and it's John wearing clothes. I was like, okay. I'm like, well, at least he's not naked.
Yeah, that's good.
open up the door. I'm like, hey, John, how's it going? And he's apologizing to me about, about being naked. And he didn't mean to, he didn't mean to offend anybody or anything like that. And he used to be in really good shape. And back in when he was younger and everything was more tight and like getting real weird about it. He goes, I like to show off my body. I'm like, well, that time has passed you.
Yes.
Like, you don't need to do that no more, bud.
How weird is it if I say that I wish I was with you?
Like, just so that you could have this experience.
I just want to Barney Stinson in this moment.
Like, I was there.
I was there.
No, you weren't. So, it's, he's apologizing for all this, and I was like, that's fine. I was like, hey, man, just, be more conscious of what you're doing. Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you. And he, like, real kind of heartfelt apology, and I felt kind of bad for him, because he's an old guy. He lives in the house alone. Like,
he can't even be naked in his own backyard, you dick.
I know. What is America coming to?
Yeah.
So, his peace offering was 2 Diet Cokes. I don't know where he pulled them out from, but he just had 2 Diet Cokes, and he was like, here, I'm sorry. And I'm like...
Why are they warm?
Yeah, they were! They were warm! And so he hands me the 2 Diet Cokes, and he put his hand out to apologize, and just instinctively I was like, hey man, it's all good. And I shook his hand, closed the door, come inside, and then I was like, he gave me 2 Diet Cokes as an apology. And I was like, and then he shook my hand. Oh my God! I touched his hand! I was like, I don't know what he's been doing with that. Like, couldn't get enough soap on there to wash it off.
You have that lava soap where like it really like scratches.
I just held it over a candle. Just burned it all off. Yeah, so that was the second time that he was naked in his backyard. Third time. The third time was like a month or 2 later, I think. We were celebrating my birthday. We were doing it late.
Oh my God, Connor, you and that guy at Duck? What are you talking about?
There's been a lot of guys at Duck. You had a naked guy at Duck?
I don't know. Okay, third time that John was naked.
Third time we were having a party at my house. Now it's like my friends and family there. But actually, it was just like mostly family. Like, we did a family barbecue. And,
I don't know why this always gets brought up.
What?
That pride. Anyway.
Talking about the guy that his parents, or that was having, like, really opening up to you, and you were just like...
Yeah, no, hold on. Well, we can get into that. I can explain that. You go back into John.
So, we're all chilling in the backyard. It's laid out. And I see this flashlight, like, shining through the trees. We're trying to figure it out. Like, looks like somebody's looking for somebody. Like, it's a cop light. I was like, fuck. Go around, look out front, see if there's a squad car. No squad car there. Then we see the light every now and then again. Okay. So, I keep looking to see what the fuck is going on, but I'm also trying to enjoy, like, our get-together. At one point, though, and, like, my dog Hallie, she's doing this thing again where she would go towards the fence line and, like, bark at it. But there's nothing there that we knew of. So then one of the times that she was, like, kind of, like, barking at the fence.
She never barks, too, so that's a good sign.
So I started to walk towards where she was walking to, and I yelled at her to come here. So she runs from the fence line, comes around, circles around me, and hugs my leg, and is, like, pointing at the fence. And I was like, my dog's ready to fucking murder somebody. I was like, this is gonna be dope. And I saw the flashlight turn on, and no joke, he had, like, shined the flashlight in front of him. He was laying on the ground, on his side, with his head in his hand, and, like, one leg up.
By trying to Tinder profile pick it up?
Yeah, he was doing Burt Reynolds.
Oh,
like,
man.
that, butt-ass naked. And I was like, fuck. I was like, John, are you naked? Like, it's such a typical, just another Monday. John, are you naked again? And, like, like, he turned the light off real quick. And like, at this point, I'm mad because now it's like, it's my people that he's fucking with. And so I go, John, I swear to God, if you're naked in your fucking backyard again, I'm gonna get... I don't know if I said I was gonna get my gun, but I think I threatened to shoot him. I was like, I'm gonna fucking shoot you.
John, if I see your penis, I swear to God.
I better not see those old man balls again. So I yelled at him.
Like bartender, John, are you naked?
Yeah, pretty much. And so, and he, so I told him, I was like, get the fuck out of the house or I'll fucking shoot you. And I see like the shadow silhouette from like a house with a light like 2 yards over, and I see him like it's like a naked, smaller Bigfoot sighting, just like of him running into the house. Yeah. And so I come back to like my people's and Rich, you know Rich, fucking huge.
Rich.
Big dude, solid mustache.
Oh yeah.
He I told them what's going on, and I told them about the last time where we caught him doing that he came over to offer Diet Cokes as a peace offering. And Rich looks at me. Now Rich was like an all-state wrestler, like holds records and shit, like scary dude. He's huge. And he goes, he's got like a real deep voice too. And he's like,
does have a deep voice.
He goes, if that guy comes over here, I'm gonna punch him in the face. And I'm like, that'll be homicide. Like, you will murder him. And he goes, I don't fucking care. I'll snap him in half. And I was like, I believe it. Like, I wish I was that big sometimes. Like, just be so fucking big that if I tell somebody I'm gonna punch him in the face, like, you have to question if your will is up to date. But yeah.
Are you naked?
John, are you naked again? But yeah, so yeah, he like a year ago.
That was a year ago?
A year ago, he came over to my house. My wife and I, we were inside, knock at the door, 8 at night, and she wasn't feeling good. She was supposed to go to work, and she actually called in because she didn't feel good. John comes, knocks on the door at like 8 at night, and he's fucking crying. Like, full face full of tears, snot everywhere. And
no, I don't do that.
And he's like,
I don't do that.
Billy, my mother just died. And I was like, there's no fucking way. I was like,
it's not funny, but
I was like, no
it's not
way.
Funny, but it is a little bit given the history.
Probably my reaction is what, because like legit, he goes like, cause he's told me his whole life story. I know his mom died 30 fucking years ago.
Right.
And so when he comes up, knocks on the door, and tells me that his mother just died, I'm just like, oh fuck. Like, this dude doesn't know where he's at.
Son of a bitch.
So we take him back to his house, trying to call anybody that's not me.
But he's clothed.
He's clothed.
Okay, he's clothed.
Take him back to his house, go into his house. Fucking disgusting. Oh. Like, he's got one of those houses on the outside that you're like, man, that's gotta be a wreck inside. It was. But, so we took him inside to try to find a number or something that we could call a family member.
You want to paint me a picture of the inside?
So, like, have you ever seen Psycho? Like, Ed Bates kind of thing?
Mm-mm.
Alright. Well, so he had like a small TV sitting on a dresser in the living room. And the top drawer of the dresser was like all medicine. And then like there was just junk everywhere. It had like a dirty house smell. Like you could tell that there was like a can of beans sitting somewhere that wasn't quite,
yeah,
wasn't eaten all the way. It's just been sitting there for
super oxidized and just molded over.
Yeah,
that's never a good.
There was that, and there's just kind of some crud everywhere, and all this and that. And we were trying to find anybody that we could call to get a hold of him. We were like, the one person that answered was like 2 hours away, and we were like, we'll call him an ambulance. Like, he needs to go to the hospital. He needs to get checked out. He needs to, like, he's deteriorating.
Mm-hmm.
The family member's like, do it. If you can get him in the ambulance, get him in an ambulance. Okay, call 911, get an ambulance there. It was the crew that my wife was supposed to be working with, but she had called in for. And so they show up and they're like, oh, so you couldn't come to work, so you call us here anyway? And it's like, fuck off, dude. Like we're trying to do a good thing here.
Yeah.
But so load him up in the ambulance, he leaves. End up like catching his nephew or something like a couple days later, and they go, yeah, we admitted him to the nursing home area or whatever, and he'll end up staying there. And then I think my mom found his
obituary.
Yeah, I think she found his obituary.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I can't remember if it was a week before he died or after he died. These people showed up at his house, and they started they were like going through his shit. Like
going through his shit or going through his shit?
Like at first it looked like they were, just kind of like going through his shit, cleaning up, and then it just seemed sketchy. Like okay. I came over, they were kind of working, and some girl was out front, and I'd come over, I'm like, hey, hi there, I'm Kyle, I live next door. I called the ambulance.
I'm Billy.
Yeah, I'm Billy. Whatever he chose to name me. I'm the guy that saw his penis. Hi.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, how's I don't think he'd passed yet. So I was asking him, like, how's John doing? And she's like, oh, he's doing good. He's doing real good. I'm like, okay. Is he still, like, with it? Like, do they know what's wrong? She goes, I don't really know. I'm like, who are you? I'm his niece. Fuck you are. I ain't never seen you over here. And so she goes, well, I'm dating his nephew. I'm like, this is all just getting kind of wonky. And she calls, like, two other guys are coming from behind the house, like, going through this garage, and they're coming out with, like, just all kinds of junk. And dude comes up and tells me who he is. I think he said that he was a nephew of John. And he goes, yeah, I'm actually going to be taking over the house. He goes, I'm going to flip it. I was like, oh, cool. Hey, man, you got your hands full here. He goes, yeah, that's what we're kind of gathering. It's a little messed up, but it's got some good foundation. Like, sounds like he knows what he's talking about. But I'm sitting there and I'm looking at this dude. I was like, I fucking know you. I was like, how the fuck do I know you? And I asked his name.
Oh, yeah, I know this part. Yeah.
And actually, I don't think I asked his name. I think I just say it for him.
And I was like, you don't have to say it on here, but
I was like, you're this guy, right? And he goes, yeah. I was like, yeah. I went to high school with you. Oh yeah, hey man, how's it going? I'm like, you don't know me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't know me for nothing. But what I really know this kid for is this little fucking bastard broke into my truck when I was in high school and stole a bunch of shit out of it. And I know he's been locked up. I know he's done time before. I'm like, now I really don't trust you.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And so I started asking him again. I was like, so you're taking over this house? I was like, you're going to be like coming by here a lot? And he's like, oh, well, we're going to try to. Because we're going to do this one last load, and I think we're going to call it a day. I'm like, okay. I'm like, when do you think you'll be coming back? He goes, oh, I'm not sure yet. And I had never seen him after that. Like, yesterday, I was out in the backyard. It's dark out.
Yesterday,
a light in one of his garages in his backyard was on. It had never been on before. And I was like, dude, why is that light on? Immediately I went to ghost. And then like I got realistic and I was like, it's probably a fucking squatter or some shit like that or somebody. I don't know. But so I was like, I was talking to Liz about it and I was like, what do we do? And she talks to one of our police officer friends and he goes, call it in. You just have the cops come check it out. And I was like, it's probably nothing, I don't know. Could have been somebody came by to check on something, and because it's foreclosed right now, like they're working on somebody buying it. I was like, maybe somebody came through to like look at it, something. I don't know. I was like, I'm gonna go check it out. I'm gonna put on my big boy pants, and I'm gonna go check this shit out.
Ooh, you checked it. You put on big boy pants. You didn't just go over there naked for a good time's sake?
Nah, in case it was a ghost, I didn't want to think I was there for a good time. Just there for a short time.
Yep. Yeah.
But
what was it?
Nothing. Like I walked back, hit tracker mode. Like I'm walking through and I'm like looking for footprints in the snow.
Yeah.
Saw one set going two, and it looked like somebody like followed their footsteps coming out. And so I was like, all right, like did they, like how many times has this been walked on? I walked back to the garage, and I got to the door, like the man door, and I was getting ready to open it. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like,
yeah.
What am I gonna do? Just open the door and be like, bah! Or like, get out of here, freeze! Get out of my dead neighbor's garage! Why aren't you naked like he always was? So I was like, this is kind of stupid. Like this is what dumb white girls do in horror movies.
Right.
I heard a noise. I'm gonna go check it out. And then they die. I'm smarter than that. I fell right into the trap. There's nobody in there. The light was on. Walked around like all detective mode, but like no joke. I had like butterflies in my tum tum.
Ooh, you should have called me. Oh, I was out of town.
Yeah, you abandoned me.
Yeah. I was out of town.
You were out of town. Where'd you go to?
Cedar Rapids, because Chicago shut down. So
I thought Chicago was opening back up.
Well,
or no, parts of Illinois have. I don't think Chicago.
I don't think Chicago has. Yeah. Most of Illinois is 25% capacity. I don't know that Chicago is, and even if it wasn't, or 50%, whatever.
Same difference.
Limited capacity, whatever. Even if Chicago wasn't, when we made, we just made a gut call, made the reservations when we did. That would have never been an issue, like getting in. We could have made a reservation the night before, and it would have been fine. People are not going out to eat right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But
where'd you go in Cedar Rapids, though?
A restaurant called Cobble Hill.
I've been there.
You have, yeah.
I've been there with you.
With me, yeah.
It was actually about a year ago, wasn't it?
I think it was 2018. No, 2019.
Okay.
2019. Because it wasn't 2020, right? Was it 2020?
I don't know.
Was it Valentines 2020? Because, like...
No, I think it was...
might have been last year.
No...
It was 2019 or 2020. I don't remember. No. Oh, no. It was not last year because I was getting fisted.
Yeah, no, it was 2019.
I was getting destroyed.
Yeah, it was 2019.
Oh, yeah, no, it was 2019 because last year I was getting absolutely destroyed on Valentine's Day.
Cobblestone Hill or
Cobble Hill.
Cobble Hill. I was going to say Cobblestone.
Yeah.
They have one of those weird menus that there's like, you have like two choices for everything.
You say weird.
It's weird for me because I'm used to like Applebee's and shit where you've got like a novel to get through.
Not even Applebee's. It's like everywhere in the QC.
Yeah.
Is like that. Cobble Hill, it's very contemporary, and they kind of like, the way that they have their menu is they're kind of like pushing you towards kind of like coursing out your meal. They kind of set it up for you to get a couple starters.
Well, they keep it all kind of in the same, almost in the same, I don't know if I'm using this right, but like almost in the same palette. Like if you get this appetizer, it'll go great with this main course.
Yeah, they've done things like that. Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, I like to go there. It's a small menu. They do everything handmade.
You can watch them.
They were nominated for James Beard, or their chef there was nominated for a James Beard a couple years back. So to me, that's very appealing. That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, we went there, had an enjoyable time, stayed at a pretty decent hotel. Like Bree went to check in, they gave us warm cookies. Like that's cool. Like that's their thing. They're like, your warm cookie awaits you. It's like one of their slogans. That's freaking cool.
Most of the hotels I go to, they give me a rat trap, and they're like, just put it in this corner and you'll be fine.
Yeah, that was cool. Like, I didn't want to eat that warm cookie because we were going to be going to dinner in 30 minutes, but it was cool. I saved it for I took a little bite so that
if
I could
you
still
put it
eat
in your
warm.
pocket, it would probably still stay warm.
Yeah.
You just pull it out at the restaurant.
Yeah, probably would have. Yep. It's super enjoyable, just like a pocket Snickers or something. It's awesome. Yeah.
Pocket sand.
Yeah. Yeah, so we stayed overnight at a decent hotel, and the next day, so we had a reservation to go to lunch at a pretty contemporary Italian joint, just because Brie likes her pasta.
Pasta!
Pasta! And we show up, and it's right, like, next to University of Iowa campus. That kind of, like, market area. It's kind of buzzing, you know, that whole area.
The hip hop, hip hop, you don't stop the rock.
And we go up to the door, and they just, like, closed until 4 because one of their pipes broke. But like, we never got a call, or they never posted anything on Facebook. Like, some sort of heads up that we might have seen before would have been kind of cool, because we could have planned our day a little bit differently. But
yeah, dicks.
We just kind of had to reroute. We went to Coralville Mall and just got like freaking Charlie's, because we were at Coralville Mall, and like,
I love Charlie's.
Charlie's is great. Charlie's is fantastic. It's just, you know, we can get Charlie's here. So.
But did you get like the legit Charlie's where they do all the like the thing on the grill, where they like try to put on a show while they're doing stuff?
At Coralville, it's set up a little bit differently, so that flat top isn't right in front of your face. It's kind of off to the side.
Ugh.
So you can't, you know.
That's not as much fun.
Yeah, but we don't really care as much because, like, you know, there's these 6 feet apart. There's just weird rules about everything now, so you can't really enjoy it quite the same.
Speaking of weird rules, or just weird things, I don't know if this is actually real, but the rumor is Texas, one of your favorite states, is talking about wanting to leave the U.S. Again. I don't know how true this is, but Texas wants to, what would it be, secede from the U.S.? Yeah. They want to become their own fucking country, which, like,
they kind of are in a way. I mean, not really.
Not really, but
they do things their own way.
Well, I mean, Texas is Texas. Like, you're not gonna fuck with Texas, but at the same time, it's like they've done this before and it's never worked. Like, I just feel like nowadays, like where we're getting at in the country, like you're finally gonna get enough Texans that are gonna be like, fuck this, we're out. But like, I want to know what that process is for a state to just be like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
And then just make their own fucking country. Which, like, do you have to get a unanimous vote throughout Texas to be like, hey, we're going to tell the U.S. to suck it, and we're going to be the country of Texas? And, yeah, I know I'm doing a very bad Southern, but whatever. Don't take offense to it. Just, you know, they're going to be like, fuck you guys and your stupid laws. Longhorns, woo! Hook 'em! He's mad at me off.
That's exactly how it would go. That's exactly how it would go.
I don't know. I think it would be interesting. It would definitely toss a wrench into the plans for, because like,
for those that don't know, my childhood was in Texas.
He's also.
I sort of grew up into, like, half of my child years were.
Well, you were like a devoted Texas Longhorn fan.
I mean, still am.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like you haven't had the chance to sit down and like really watch football to see who's coming up through what.
I've really stopped.
I've stopped doing everything.
I've stopped doing I've really like calmed down on sports, man. It got to a point where like it was making my blood pressure too high and it was aggravating me, and I don't watch sports as much anymore at all.
I had a brief moment where I actually got really invested into sports. And like, but it was only for my teams, which I like the Chicago Cubs, I like the Blackhawks, and I like the Bears. Like, that was it.
So you don't care about NBA?
No,
okay.
Not really.
All right.
Honestly, because like I tried watching NBA games, and the conversation always steers back somehow to LeBron. I don't like LeBron. He's a fucking crybaby. Like, his hairline is weird. Like, he's just a douche. Yeah, he's a great guy, but he's not humble about it. Like, fuck off. Yeah, you're good at basketball. Who cares? Oh, I'm so good at basketball. I'm going to try to be just like Mike, but I'm never going to admit it. that I'm actually not better than him, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be in Space Jam. I hope that movie tanks. Fuck that movie.
So
I spat everywhere.
Going off of that, I am kind of a LeBron hater, but I haven't hated him his entire career. Even when he broke off to create the Big Three in Miami, I wasn't a hater. I was like,
nope, that's what made me like.
And that's what did it for a lot of people. But I tried to think like, okay, Cleveland wasn't doing anything for him. They weren't giving him really a whole lot to work with. He wanted to make something happen. He wants to win championships. Okay, I get it. But it was that first season in Miami. We're in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Eastern Conference Finals. Bulls versus Heat. Game 1. Luol Deng shuts LeBron down for 9 points. 9 points. Absolutely shuts him down. The Bulls win. It's a great game. Everyone loves it. Before Game 2, they're talking about LeBron having a cold. Like, he set up a scapegoat. Like, in case he didn't have a good game, he set up this scapegoat that he was sick, right?
You know who was sick? Jordan. And he won.
Right. But that was stomach flu. A little bit different, but he was going to the sidelines.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's gonna go and like go for a dunk and shit himself.
He was going to the sidelines to puke. You know, like everyone knows the flu game. Everyone respects him for it. Mm-hmm. But LeBron totally set up a scapegoat in case he had another bad game, and Luol shut him down. He didn't. He had a great game, and like people were like, "Oh, he like overcame illness." Blah blah blah. It was a cold. It was a cold. If it was anything at all. So anyway, the Heat beat the Bulls. Eastern Conference Finals, the Heat advanced to the NBA Finals versus the Mavericks. Dirk Nowitzki actually has the flu. He has the flu during these finals. And LeBron was mocking him with Dwayne Wade. They were like doing fake coughs and stuff. And I'm like, dude, you last series, do you not forget that you had a cold and you set up this like scapegoat? Ever since then, I'm like, I can't stand this.
Did they lose that year? They lost that year.
They did lose that year.
They lost that year. The Big Three only ended up winning like one championship there, wasn't it?
2.
Did they win the 2? They lost the first year.
They won 2. They won 2
championships. Second year they beat the
championships.
Spurs.
They won 2 championships because LeBron now has 4. He won 2 in Miami. He won 1 back in Cleveland. And then he just won with the Lakers.
Yeah. So
they won 2 championships.
But that's you bring the 3 kings, you bring them all to Miami, and like I remember watching
they were gonna win 8.
I remember watching like the press conference where like just LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, like just those 3 dudes are sitting on a bar stool in like this stadium or whatever, just talking about themselves and hyping up what the Heat's gonna be and this and that.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, and then he gets to 8.
Yeah, and then they didn't do shit. And like, I mean, what I did love about the Heat, they brought Chris Anderson. They brought Birdman out. Like,
I know you've got a hard on for Birdman.
Dude, Birdman's dope. Like he is like this generation's Dennis Rodman. Fucking big ass mohawk covered in tattoos.
Not quite like Dennis though.
He's not as good as Dennis, but like
not as good as Dennis.
Personality
and
wise.
then like Dennis is also like wilder.
True.
Like Dennis is
like I said, he's this generation
notorious for
not as good
the partying and everything and.
Dennis Rodman married himself. Like, let's just go ahead.
If you haven't watched The Last Dance, it's on.
My God!
It's on Netflix, and it's a great watch.
That's so good.
Dennis Rodman's hilarious in that.
Dennis Rodman gives no fucks. I want to say it was like, was it the '98 season that he said that he needed a day off?
Yeah.
He's like, I just need 24 hours.
No, he was gone for like 3 days, man.
Yeah, he was gone for 3 days, and they had to like go find him in Vegas and drag him back to practice. But
hilarious.
No, NBA, and like the Bulls, I honestly kind of lost faith in the Bulls with Derrick Rose. Where like Derrick Rose blew his knee out in a game.
That was hard to watch.
Kid was skyrocketing into being probably one of the greatest if he would have stayed on that path and not got injured. Like,
I'm gonna comment on that once you finish.
kid had great potential. He's going hard in the paint. He ends up blowing out his knee, tore his ACL, has to go and have surgery on it. He was supposed to be out for like a year or something, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. Anytime you like blow your ACL,
Yeah, so he was supposed
you're
to
out
take a
for
year
a
off.
year.
He took like 6 months or something, 6 or 7 months, and he tried coming back. And it's like nobody in there wanted to be like, hang on, like future almost probably Hall of Famer. Like you're still so young in your career. Like do not overwork your body. Take the time that you need. You still got plenty of game to play. But this kid thought that he had to come back super quick and they let him do it. He blows out his other ACL because he was overcompensating. So now he's got two bad ACLs in his mid 20s, like what, 3-4 years into the NBA?
Yeah.
He wasn't that far into it.
It was 2012, so he was 4 years. We drafted him in 08, 4 years into it.
Yeah. You know, and it's like it just bothered me that nobody like parented that guy to be like, hey, no, you need to slow the fuck down. And then
so I guess it would be his 5th season when he blew out the other one.
Derrick Rose,
because it was 2012 playoffs when he blew that first knee.
I think he's with the Knicks now.
Yeah, I don't know.
And he's not doing anything.
He a lot of Bulls fans are wanting him to come back.
Nope.
He's
done.
Yeah. So okay, my issue with Rose, I've calmed down on sports the last few years, but like sports, I was a very loyal watcher of sports my whole life. But my issue with Derrick Rose was always he was in his prime in those first few years, and then the season where he won his MVP. He was the absolute best player in the NBA at getting to the paint, attacking the rim, and finishing at the rim. He was the absolute best at just accelerating and getting to the rim to score points.
He also had just like good court awareness.
You say that, but my biggest issue with him, when he was the best at getting to the rim, I've said that, and then it got to a point where people were just hacking at him. They're just hacking,
yeah.
And he's taking hard fouls, and a lot of times these fouls aren't being called. The offense would completely break down, and everyone would just watch him, and he'd just ISO, and he'd go to the rim. My biggest issue with him, especially being a point guard, if you are the best in the NBA at getting to the rim and the entire defense is collapsing on you and hacking at you, why are you not dishing that ball back out to the perimeter and getting some assists?
Because he wants to be the greatest.
No, that bothered me so much, man. Because you would watch it every single time. He'd ISO, make a move, and he's at the fastest first 2 steps in the NBA.
Yeah.
Makes a move to the rim, gets to the rim, and defense collapses on him, and they hack at him, and the other 4 guys in the offense are just like standing there watching it happen.
I feel like that happens with small guys, though. Small guys get hacked and nothing gets called.
He would never dish it out, man. And that just bothered me so much.
Steph Curry gets his ass whooped on a daily whenever he plays. Like, he gets fouled pretty good. And, like,
but he doesn't drive to the rim.
No, he hangs out.
Every play.
He hangs out on the outside. But
so he doesn't get hacked when he's on the outside. But if he drives, he gets hacked.
Sometimes he gets hacked on the outside and they still don't call it. But, whatever. Now, the other problem that I found out with, like, when you start to follow sports and you start to get some knowledge of it, and like you go, oh yeah, I heard the Cubs are going to be drafting this guy or whatever. Like, I heard this guy's doing great in spring training. They're going to bring him up from the minors and he might actually be able to contribute something great. People think you know everything, and then they just start talking to you. And then you realize you don't know shit. And you're just getting bombarded with like, well, this team's doing this and this team's doing that, and then back and blah, 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 and I'm just like, I don't fucking know.
Oh.
Like I watch the Cubs. I like Cubs.
See, I never had that issue because I would just like watch all sports and I would keep up with all sports.
It's too much work.
Anymore, it's too much for me. I've chose to devote my time in my career and friends, family, and just like back up on sports because it's just frustrating me. And like, why am I frustrated about it? It's so stupid.
So I was thinking about this today.
It's so dumb.
Since you just had a birthday,
Mm-hmm.
I always was told
29.
29. I was always told that, or the expression that I always heard was like another year older, another year smarter. Did you ever hear that?
Yeah. Or another year older, another year wiser.
Yeah, it was another year older, another year wiser.
Mm-hmm.
Who says?
I think wiser is different than smarter.
Who says though? Like, is that a requirement? Do I have to be wiser at 29 than I was at 28? Like, what if I'm not?
You've got to be.
What if I'm getting dumber?
So you think in the last year that you've gotten dumber?
Maybe.
Because like I
throughout
feel
2020,
like,
yeah.
I feel like I learn something every day or every few days, something new.
But does it actually make you wiser?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
for
don't
sure.
know.
I feel wiser for sure.
At what point do you stop getting wiser though? Like, what if you learn everything?
I don't know, man.
Like,
I don't know. I hope I never stop learning. That's what I love about my career is I learn stuff.
yeah, but they can't introduce
So often.
new foods. Like, check out this new fruit we found.
You say that, but there's things going on.
I would not trust that. I don't trust.
No,
I don't trust seedless watermelons.
There.
I said it. That's some laboratory Nazi scientist shit.
No, but it's not. It's not. There's things going on beyond your comprehension, beyond my comprehension, that they're developing. I mean, a lot of seedless watermelons, I'm sure, like are a byproduct of something, whatever. But there's a farm, so it's called Blue Hill. It's in upstate New York. It's a chef. He's a highly revered chef, Dan Barber. I don't know why I said Tim. I know it's Tim Barber. Dan Barber, Blue Hill. And he's working with people that, I don't know, is it like whatever fucking agricultural engineering or agricultural freaking create shit degree. He's working with people that have gotten degrees from incredible universities, and they're taking strains and seeds and like taking the best batches, and they're doing just incredible stuff where they've
This isn't like breeding dogs where you're gonna mix a corgi with a
no,
bulldog.
but it is. They've done things. There's something new that's kind of popped up the last 2 years, and it's not quite as known to the general public. But I absolutely love this pepper. They call it habanada. Habanada pepper.
Habanada.
It is a habanero that they've just kind of like grown and bred to completely eliminate the spice. So it has
all the taste.
It has the spiciness of a bell pepper, which is nothing.
Yeah.
But it has the taste of a habanero, which if you get past the heat of a habanero, the taste, it's very citrusy. It's just juicy and fruit-like. It is an incredible pepper.
So it's a little, because to me, like, there's a difference between zest and spice. Like, zest is like bell pepper. Like, it's zesty. It's not spicy, like it burns. I don't know. That's what I consider. Like, if somebody asks me, like, is it hot? I'm like, it's zesty.
Yeah, but a bell pepper is
hot.
never spicy. It's never spicy.
Got a little bit of it.
Oh my gosh.
Shut up. I did the Choco Challenge.
Yeah. No, but they're doing things, and it's not just for the sake of like, I want to create a habanero that has no. They're just doing things to make produce more sustainable and create a better product. So seedless watermelons have kind of come about because of that.
I still don't trust it.
Different seed saving and taking the best.
Some alien shit. Like, how do you? I wonder, like.
There is what you're talking about. You're talking about people that are like going in with chemicals and stuff, and then they're like growing shit in sand, and it's like just weird.
Yeah.
And you bite into a tomato one day, and you're like, "What's this plastic root that's right underneath the core? Like that's disgusting."
Or like you go.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, you go to bite into a tomato, and you get like a apple.
Yeah. I do want to talk about something that I'm super excited about.
What are we talking about?
It is food related since we're on the topic. I'm wicked excited.
Wicked excited.
What I'm trying to do for Verde is I'm trying to create. Well, one, I want to win a James Beard Award. I really do. So to do that, I need to be innovative and I need to create flavors that can't ever be replicated, because also there's a local restaurant. I don't want to say the name because I don't want to start a fuss. I don't want someone to see this and but
Drama.
a little bit, because there's people that are hitting sit up for like recipes and ideas, and their themed restaurant is very similar to ours. Same type of cuisine, and they're trying to get recipes and stuff. I'm like, no, we're not going to give you recipes. So
yeah, let me just help out my challengers.
Yeah, right. Yeah, let me just like throw my enemy a bone. Like
that's like stupid. Brady being like, hey, I'm gonna throw it to that guy. Good luck.
Yeah, just dumb. Anyway, are you familiar with garum?
Yeah. No.
Okay. You know what fish sauce is, right?
Like when you squeeze a fish and it poops?
Do you not know what fish sauce is?
Talking about tartar sauce?
No, fish sauce.
Talking about like their guts.
Okay. So, I've got a lot of explaining to do.
Fish sauce.
Okay. So what I'm working on, it is a garum. Fish sauce is a type of garum. This is not the greatest quality one. This fish sauce is, you'll find, it's going to smell terrible. It's gonna smell terrible. You're gonna be like, "Oh, it's terrible. Why is that good?" Yeah. Bree, take that back.
Oh my God! You put that on food?
No, listen to me. Let me talk. Why am I still holding this? Why did you bring it in here if I'm gonna still hold it?
Oh my God, that smells like death.
Okay, so fish sauce. This doesn't smell the great. It's not the greatest quality one, but. So what they do
it smells fucking terrible.
Is in Vietnam.
Let's see it again. Let me give you that bottle.
In Vietnam, they'll take sardines, they'll salt them heavily, they'll leave them out in the sun, and they ferment, and then they strain it, and they take the liquid from that. So that's like sun-baked, fermented, salted fish liquid. Sardine liquid, really, is what that is.
Flying Lion brand. Loe the Goya Hang.
That was butchered. Okay.
Phu Quoc.
It's Vietnamese, dude.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Tell me again what fish sauce is.
So they take sardines, they salt them heavily, they leave them out in the sun, so they ferment, and then they strain it, and they take the liquid, and it's really intense. But the thing is, like, bitters in a cocktail?
Yeah.
It's the same thing, but it's like food. You don't ever want to take a teaspoon because it's way too intense. But in a couple drops, it just absolutely transforms your food.
This has so much sodium in it.
Because the fish is cured in it.
Yeah, man, that's a lot of sodium.
That's why you can't ever take a teaspoon, because it's so intense. You have to take it in drops. So this is a type of garum. Okay? This is a type of garum.
Okay.
It's super intense. A couple drops is all you need. Like, I promise you, if we went to the farmer's market...
A dab will do ya.
If we went to the farmer's market and we got the best looking tomatoes that we could, and we took 4 drops of this and put it on a slice of tomato, it would blow your mind. It would absolutely blow your mind.
It would definitely fuck my nose up.
No, it would blow your mind. You don't realize it because you're focusing on the scent.
Yeah.
So, anyway, back to garum. Fish sauce is a type of garum. Well, garum, it was created during the days of ancient Rome. That's the period. And this is what they would do. Like, they would take fish that they caught, get what they could out of it, and then leftover scraps, whatever, they would salt, sunbake it, it would ferment, and they would take that liquid and, like soldiers, centurion, whatever they fucking were, soldiers, they would take that, they would keep it in a bottle, kind of like a flask of some sort, and they would use a couple drops to improve their food. So there's some some restaurants that are really taking this to, traditionally it's done with fish. Super intense. There's a restaurant called Noma in Copenhagen, Denmark, that has taken the idea of, they've taken this idea and they've applied it to beef or shrimp, lobster, the same idea, so it's super intense, but it just, instead of that kind of like fish-like
So
flavor.
like, what would happen if you used that whole bottle in a dish?
It would be the worst thing you ever had.
So like, there's a fine line between
But
just right and.
well, it's the perfect example of balance
Mm-hmm.
and using something in moderation. You really need to have like a steady hand with this because it's so intense. But that restaurant, they're doing it. You could do garum with any protein. So they were doing it with beef, they were doing it with shrimp, lobster, and they were like, the beef garum is like the best improvement to a dish that we could ever imagine. So I took that idea, and what I'm working on at Fair Day is they're like, okay, so you make garum from proteins. What if I use that exact same concept, but I apply it to beans? Because if you've ever had my beans are incredible. I would call myself the bean whisperer. I pride myself on my bean cookery. So I want to make a
Some solid bean magic.
I'm working on a black bean garum just to improve our cooking. So it just
Patent pending.
Just a few drops.
Can you patent food? Can you patent recipes?
Yeah, I think you can patent anything.
Interesting. You should patent a recipe.
Yeah.
Then nobody can steal it.
I could patent a recipe. But I'm working on things like that where it's not necessarily a meat, but it's still a protein. And
so you're just trying to see where else you could take this flavor to.
I'm developing a deep flavor that, when used in moderation, is going to just like give our food this umami quality where you're like, why is this so good? It just has a couple drops of that special.
So are you telling me that the secret ingredient is not love?
I'm telling you that the secret ingredient is not love.
Grandma, you lied to me!
The secret ingredient has never been love. It has always been some form of technique.
My Nana.
Whether grandmas know it or not, there's a certain technique in the way that they do something that makes it taste better. It's not love, it's experience and technique.
It's love.
They'll call it love.
I'm still gonna believe that it's love.
They'll call it love if they don't know what it is that they do.
My Nana always said that it was love, but I guarantee it was the fact that she would just glob cheese in whatever she was making.
Which is
like when she would make scrambled eggs, she would like toss in like Velveeta cheese into the mix, and I was like, these are fucking great.
That's a great way to do it. There's a lot of something I like to do is
we're doing a thing for us to start cooking at home.
I heard about that.
I
saw something about that.
I can't remember the name of the thing, but it's where they send you the meals.
Can you take this fish sauce back?
Yeah, please get that out of here.
I don't want to buy my wine. I don't want to mistake it.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious. For me, not for you.
It'd be like when you did the Choco Challenge.
You know what? No, it'd be like the first time I smelled your juice. Or tasted your juice.
Oh, it'd be worse than that.
No, so we're doing this, what's this?
It was a $7 bottle.
From the V?
Barrel Heist Bourbon Barrel Aged Cab. 2019 vintage.
It's dry.
It is dry.
I don't really like dry.
But for a $7 bottle, like, it's got decent legs.
Yeah, I know what that term means. But anyway, so we're doing this.
Do you not know what that means?
Fuck no, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know food. I'm just fat. I eat.
Let me teach you something then, okay?
Let me learn. Let me be wiser.
Let me teach you a small something, okay? So I'm swirling this red wine to aerate it.
Okay.
It's gonna help.
Does that help it breathe?
Yeah, breathe, and I'll be able to taste the flavors better, and then so I'll be able to look at the legs, okay? You see the glass? You see the wine, the way it drips down?
Yeah.
Those are its legs.
Okay.
Slower legs means it's going to be jammier.
Okay.
So it's going to have more sediment. It's going to be a little fuller, a little bit richer. It's got decent legs. See how slow that's moving down?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of jammy. So it's got sediment. It's full body. It's going to be a little bit jammier.
Does that mean that it wasn't stepped on as much as like other wines?
Not necessarily.
Oh.
It could. I mean, fuck if I know. It could mean that. But it's a $7 bottle. I just wanted to try it. I don't taste the bourbon barrel age at all, but it's got decent legs.
Tastes like wine.
It does taste like wine.
Yeah. But anyway, so we're doing this thing where they're going to send us meals, like in a box, where like all you have to do is unpack it and just throw it into however. I think they tell you how to cook it too.
What's it called?
I cannot remember who is through. I know it's kind of like a Blue Apron thing. I know Blue Apron does it.
So it's just a kind of a play off of that. So it's
but it's like I think it's like $10 to have a meal sent to you.
It's like meal prep.
Yeah. So
it
like
comes in, everything's prepped for you. They give you instructions on how to cook it.
Everything's prepped. All you gotta do is just cook it. Like maybe you have to dice something or cook something. I don't know, but like it's because like our problem is so we'll buy stuff. Like, we'll buy meals to cook at home, and then after a long day of work, when you get home, and it's like, man, I really don't want to make anything.
For the average person, the prep is the hardest part.
Yep. Prep and cleanup. Those suck.
For me, I have no problem with the prep. It's freaking, I just don't want to do dishes. Like, I'll cook all day, but then, like, I'll avoid eating a meal so I don't have to do dishes.
See,
I'll avoid eating a meal so I don't have to do dishes. I will.
Otherwise, it just starts piling up in the dishes and in the sink and shit.
There's something seriously wrong with that.
Well, because the other trick to it is like once you cook,
and none of them take more than 45 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So I mean, you get that satisfaction of. Like, okay, because here's my main problem with, like, cooking is measurements. Like...
It's the $6 bottles I get you. The $6 bottles are the ones that I'm weary about. I never think that they're going to have depth. It's the expensive bottles that, like... Because I tried Opus 1, and I'm like, I don't understand the hype. There's usually a dollar amount that I'm kind of looking for.
Like, what's this one?
Oh, I don't even remember, dude. We just use that to hold the window up. Because the window doesn't stay up on its own.
Should I put it back?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Ah! Like it's going to fall in?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll put that back. I'll remember.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it takes 45 minutes to cook. I feel like, too, it'll make you feel a lot more... successful, I guess, like making your
successful, make you feel better just because I'm sure what they send you, there's ingredients that probably are, richer in more nutrients than most of us get on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Make you feel fuller, happier. You probably get better sleep. You probably feel better.
Yeah, it's the NZ Pinot.
I don't think it's the New Zealand Pinot. No. It's another Pinot though, and the Pinots that I've enjoyed are few and far between. They're just always so bland.
It's the DE Bichat.
No, it's Horizon.
Whatever, it says De Bichat.
Horizon de Bichot? Okay, so
sounds good.
We got to work on your pronunciation. I don't know things other than English.
And that's still a stretch sometimes.
I'm just glad that you didn't call it Pinot.
Pinot what?
You did say Pinot.
Pinot? I mean,
I'm proud of you for that one.
Sometimes it's more fun to get things wrong. Like quesadilla.
I'm really... that bothers me so much. I'm glad that you said Pinot and not Peanut.
No, one of the tricks that that I know is when you get done cooking, like you don't want to take like a hot pan or anything like that and put it straight into the water, but like the quicker you can get it clean, the long,
why don't you want to take a hot pan and put it straight into the water?
I don't know. That's what I was always told. I was told like if you got like a hot pan, you go to throw it in the water, like it just like.
So you don't, and there's nothing. Okay. You don't want to put a hot pan directly in water to cool it off if that pan is just poorly made. Because if it's poorly made, a lot of Chinese metals, because I'm sorry, nothing against like China, but the metals that come from China are absolutely terrible. They're terrible alloys. If it's something like that where it's just poorly made, when you put it in that water, it's gonna bend it. It's gonna bend it. It's gonna
warp it.
It's gonna warp it. Yes. Yeah. But if you have something well made, like if you take cast iron, just straight cast iron, blazing hot, put it in water, it's never going to warp. It's never ever going to warp. If you do that with copper, it is never going to warp.
Well, I don't think we're really going to be out there, like, we're not the people that are going to drop $45 on a pan.
Yeah.
Like
that actually emerald set that you have is actually decent. Like, it's not going to do that.
Well, but that's my thing is, like, as long as the food is still warm that was cooking in it, like, it's easier to come off, you can scrape it off easier, and it's a lot easier to cook. But when you got something that sits in the sink with food on it for 2 days, and then you got to, like, put some elbow grease into it to get that shit off, grab a putty knife and peel it off, then you definitely don't want to do it. Silverware, God forbid.
I soak everything. Always. I always soak.
My problem is, like, I'll be like, I'm just going to put some water on that, some soap, let it soak. And 3 days later, I come back and I'm like,
that's the play.
I think it's done soaking.
Bree will be like, why soak when you can just clean it now?
Yeah.
Whatever. I like to soak for 3 days. So, it's the magic number. 68 hours is the right number.
So I go back and forth on that because, like, my dad has this mentality that I wish I could pick up. I've tried to. Every once in a while I do, and then I
Am I going to feel like a shitty person after you finish this?
You might, because I usually
I'm going
to
feel shitty, yeah.
It's a 30-second rule. Like, it's 30-second rule, or you can bump it up to 1 minute rule.
When food falls on the floor?
No. Just for doing things.
For doing things.
So, like, okay, you got a messy room. Let's say this works, like, if you're watching TV.
Bree, stop commenting.
This is like her text on the phone. Like, just... And this, and this, and this, and this,
stop.
And this, and this. But so, like, when you're watching TV and there's a commercial going on, you're not watching that commercial. You don't give a fuck what's on there. So it's like, use that time to be productive. Get up, go clean something. Like, if you're gonna, you can just do it in those increments where, like, you get up and you take a minute to dust something. And then you can go back and you can sit back down.
That's a good point.
And then when another break comes along, you get up and you go dust something else. Like,
that's efficiency.
Throughout the day, you'd have a room done.
Yeah.
And, like, instead of where you have this big project.
But there's no commercials on Netflix.
There's no commercials on Netflix. But what there is there's that they've gotten rid of the "Are you still watching?" Did you notice that?
Have they?
After 3 episodes, like, it used to be like, "Are you still watching this?" And you'd always be pissed off, like, "Yeah, I'm still fucking watching it."
Yeah.
What else would I be doing?
Fuckers, I'm a sack of shit. What'd you think I was? A go-getter?
That's gone now.
Yeah.
So, like, now I'll fall asleep.
They always go back and forth on that.
I'll fall asleep watching season 2 of something, wake up in season 7, and be like, what happened?
Yeah.
But no, like, you could, I mean, and that's where you have to make that choice yourself. Like, when you end an episode and it says, like, click this to play next or whatever, like, you can hit pause instead and go do something quick and then get it done. Because, like, when you have a pile of things that you have to do.
That's beautiful, by the way.
Huh.
I don't know if you saw that.
That pour?
Yeah.
That was a good pour.
With the left hand.
That was
beautiful.
But, like, when you have a pile of things that you have to do and you have to, like, force yourself to get up to go do it, it's so much harder to, like, get that ball rolling. But if you're like, I'm just going to do this little thing here to do that, and then you go back to doing whatever you're doing, and then you're like, I'm going to go do this little thing here. Like, it's breaking yourself away for a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's a solid technique. It works. But at the same time, when I'm binge watching something, I don't want to get up. And so I can't make myself do it.
Like, I lay in bed, Yeah. Because I'm a sack of potatoes.
I didn't get out of bed till fucking noon today because it's my day off and I didn't have anything to do. When actually, if I looked around my house, I guarantee you I've got 45 things that I could be doing. That's one thing I wish I was better on. So, have you ever thought about living somewhere else?
Oh, of course.
Like, just because of the weather?
Of course. I think anyone that lives where we live has had that thought.
Snow had me today, man.
Especially when you go on vacation somewhere and you're like, why the fuck did my ancestors pick Illinois?
Yeah. Like, y'all couldn't have just
Yeah.
moved down south. Like, damn.
Or like when you grew up in Texas and you're like, what the?
Why are we back here?
Yeah, why are we here?
This place sucks.
Yeah. Have you dealt with Iowa drivers?
Our taxes are insane.
Oh my gosh, they just brake for no reason. Welcome to Iowa.
It's called a turn signal, you fuck.
The nation's capital of braking. Just because.
Yeah, just because.
Just because.
Why not? Just gotta check those lights.
Yep. Just make sure that my brake lights are still on.
But so I got 2 driveways, and I got a 4-wheel drive car, and I got big tires. Like I'm not getting stuck in nothing. So the chances of me shoveling my driveway, not necessary. Like I can still get through my driveway just fine.
Like you don't have a mailman that you gotta like shovel it just because you're like courteous.
No, like they come to the road.
Yeah.
Like honestly, having an unshoveled driveway kept people away from me, which was like kind of nice.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have to, I didn't have to
Just
host
like lay
much.
down and just keep watching Netflix.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep playing video games. But like now we have people that come by the house more often. So like, I need to start when it snows. I need to get off my ass and like go actually shovel. But I didn't for this last one, and so there's a good chunk, like a good layer of snow on one of the driveways, and I was like, we got people coming over. I'm like, I'm gonna knock this out because Liz was like, I gotta get that shoveled. I gotta get that driveway shoveled. I'm like, I'll be damned if I'm gonna be sitting inside drinking hot cocoa, looking out the window, watching her busting her butt trying to shovel a driveway that I damn well should have done.
Don't say that.
No.
Don't say it. Hey, I'm guilty. I'm totally guilty of that. I'm totally guilty of it. I've done it with shoveling, and I've done it with mowing the lawn.
Like,
I've done it with both.
Like you just see her going by the window, and you're like,
yeah. Yes, I've done that.
Missed a spot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can't same thing of like if she's gonna pump gas, like if she's gonna pump gas in her own car, I cannot sit in the passenger seat while she's pumping gas. I get out.
Deal with Bree then.
Why?
Deal with Bree for a day.
Why? Because she just goes and like gets after it?
She just gets after it, man.
Most of the time, like if Liz starts doing that, I sit there and I feel guilty and I'll be like, what can I do? Mm-hmm. Like, all right, or I'll start going to do this other project. And then Liz will do that where she'll be like, what are you doing? Helping. She says, you don't have to. Just, no, go ahead and relax. I'm like, no. Like, that's not, like, that feels wrong. Like, this isn't the 1940s.
It does feel wrong, but I do it.
I can't. I have to try to be helpful. Like, mostly because what my fear is like, as I'm sitting on the couch watching New Girl for the millionth time, and Liz is out in the driveway shoveling, and God forbid my dad drives by and sees that, he will come and drag me outside and shove my face in the snow and, I don't know, beat me for being so lazy. So, like, I got the fear of him. Mm-hmm. But, no, I was trying to, because she said that she's like, I gotta shovel the driveway. I'm like, oh, fuck that. I should have done it. I'm going to go get it done. So I go out and I'm trying to shovel this driveway. It's still got all this ice from an ice storm that we had.
Yeah.
So there's like a solid 2 inches of ice.
Oh my gosh. That was a workout.
With snow on top of it.
When we had, was it like a month ago? When we had that like, all in like a 48-hour period, it would snow, sleet, freezing rain.
I would not do that to my wife.
Snow, sleet, freezing rain, and it was just stacking, accumulating. Dude, Bree went to work, and I wasn't working yet. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, they boxed her in when they freaking plowed. I'm going to take my ass out there, and I'm going to freaking shovel her spot so it's nice and clean. I did, but that was one of the hardest things I've done in my life. I had to go out and grab like a freaking metal shovel and like freaking 1849er that with pickaxe style.
Because the whole time you're sitting there like, God, I hope she comes home and sees me working hard right now.
It's like straight ice, man. Straight ice.
Yeah, so
I had to shovel all of it like straight ice.
What this turned into was me trying to chisel away at the ice. And yeah, she's very appreciative. I'm sure any wife is appreciative when, you know, the man steps up and tries doing anything around the house. Like, just like we're just as appreciative of anything that the ladies do for us. Like when y'all carry most of the weight because we're bums. But, so I'm out there trying to chisel away at this ice. I'm out there with a regular snow shovel, a metal shovel, and I got like an icebreaker.
Yeah.
And I'm out there just chiseling away at it.
Like what do you mean icebreaker? Like Listerine?
No. It's like a giant, I don't know, it's a blade on like a shovel handle. And so sitting there and I'm chiseling away at it. But also, like, if you go out and you shovel, you're going to get hot and you're going to get sweaty. So I'm just out there in a fucking sweatshirt and shorts and cowboy boots trying to fucking get this done real quick. And it turned into like an hour and a half long saga of trying to chip away at this ice. And I'm like, I'm just going through all of it where I'm like, if I pour some gasoline on it and burn it, it'll melt. I was like, that'll be better. And then I can throw some salt on it. And what pissed me off was like this dude down the road. I'm out there. I'm working on my driveway, trying to get the snow and the ice. And this guy came out onto his driveway on his 4-wheeler that has like a plow blade on it. A plow blade,
yep.
And he goes out.
Those are the play.
He plows his driveway in like 5 minutes. Gets out there, plows it, gets off, goes back inside. And I feel like he did that like in my face. Like, ha, yeah.
Rub it in.
What a bitch. Leave me, I'm done. I'm just like, yeah.
Just looking at you while he does it.
Fuck that. I was like, if I had a $20 bill in my hand, I'd be like, yo, get down here. Help me. Oh yeah, the snow blower, like when they bring out the snow blowers, and luckily I don't have anybody like sharing my driveways that they would like be snow blowing their driveway and blowing it into mine, because I would sabotage the shit out of your snow blower if you did something like that. But that's one of the houses that we were looking at is on a cul-de-sac, and I love cul-de-sacs. I grew up on a cul-de-sac. Like, cul-de-sacs are where it's at.
They're sought after.
Oh my god,
they're coveted.
They're amazing. But I was like, if we move to a cul-de-sac, I was like, I'm buying a 4-wheeler and I'm gonna put a plow on it. And I was like, and I will be that neighbor. Like, I will hop on the 4-wheeler and I will go out and I will plow everybody's driveway.
If you buy a house in a cul-de-sac, are you going to buy a golf cart and then let your son and his best friend ride in it, and then tell him not to go off-roading, but then he does it anyway?
He was with us.
No, he wasn't.
I thought he was.
No, he wasn't. He was like, I have one rule. Don't go off-roading. And we're down there by the river, and you're like, let's go off-roading.
It's a jacked-up golf cart with, like, mud tires. You can't tell me not to do it. I mean, come on. That snowblower sucks that I got, by the way.
In my defense, I was like, your dad said not to.
But at the same time, he's turning the wheel towards off the road, so, you know. No, I don't want a golf cart. I don't want to be one of those people. I don't need a golf cart. Like, it's not, there's no point in that. I'd rather have a 4-wheeler. I feel like a 4-wheeler would be more fun. But, yeah, no, he did not know about that.
He does now.
You know, he's done it. That's anytime that I've ever done it. This is what I can't wait to be a dad. So that when my kids come up, to me with some
To
stupid
be such
story.
a hypocrite.
Oh yeah, such a hypocrite.
Mm-hmm.
Being like, yeah, we went and did this, and we were out riding through these trails, and we were tearing this up. I'm like, you can't do that. All right, that's somebody's property. When I was a kid, we went on our dirt bikes and we tore this up and we did this and that. It's like, what? Why are you yelling at me when you're telling me you did the same thing? Well, times were different back then.
Yeah.
I hate that. Times were different back then. We could do stuff like that.
Don't TP someone's house. You know, that's someone's property. You respect people's property.
But when we did it, we used this ply and we did this and we made sure we wrapped the tree. And...
Right.
Okay.
But when we did it, we didn't even use Sherman Ultra. We're monsters. We used one ply.
So when you went to try to grab it, it just broke off individual sheets.
Yeah.
Could never get the whole thing off. You had to wait for a rainstorm. And it was not degradable. So it just got all soupy.
I did try to flush a paper towel a couple weeks back.
Where?
In the toilet.
Whose toilet?
My toilet.
Why?
Because it's paper towel.
No.
So
That's how you mess up.
So I learned something.
Yeah.
And so a new year, new me.
Yeah.
When I turned 29, I'm wiser.
I'm not supposed to do that.
I'm not supposed to do that.
Have you ever had to snake a drain?
Oh, yeah.
Have you? Because you flushed something you weren't supposed to, or because you just destroyed a toilet?
Because of turds. I used to not go for like 3 days, and I'd have these good old like footlongers. Oh yeah, dude.
That was one of my favorite favorite memories was when I was a kid. I was probably like 12 or something, and I fucked our toilet up. Like,
how?
I don't know, dude. Like, I just had such a massive dump. It was bad. And, like, I tried plunging it myself, and, like, I think I gave it, like, a solid 20 minutes of me trying to plunge it. And then, like, you have to make that dreaded walk out to your parents and be like,
I can't get it.
I'm like, I can't get it. It won't go down.
I've had one moment like that in my life.
Well, like, so then you gotta watch your dad go.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, he's sitting there plunging it. And while he's plunging it, he's looking at you like, what is wrong with you? You're going to the doctor. And like...
The 12-pound turd.
He legit, like, he asked me, he goes, what is wrong with you? Like, what is in here?
You just eat, like, a friggin' block of cheese?
Probably. And, like, he couldn't get the plunger, so he's like, I'm getting the snake. It's like he's busting out the nuke, and he had to, like, snake the drain, and, like, sorry.
Okay, so I never snaked the drain. I've had 2 moments in my life where I could not plunge it. And then as an adult, I became wiser. It keeps coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I became wiser, and I just developed a different technique when I started taking dumps.
Flush as you go.
Flush. It has momentum. Like,
yeah.
You have to hit that timing. It has momentum. Flush as it's coming out.
If
Boom.
you do it on an airplane...
Freaking physics,
man. If you
man.
do it on an airplane, it'll just suck the shit right out of you.
Yeah, freaking physics. Okay, anyway. I had one turd... I think I was in 5th grade when we had just moved back to Illinois. 5th or 6th grade. I was 12. We just moved back to Illinois. We were living in Geneseo at my aunt and uncle's, and I could not plunge it, and my uncle came in.
Out in Geneseo, was that septic?
I don't remember. 12, I don't remember. Had to snake it, but we didn't have a snake, so like my uncle undid a metal hanger, came in with like a freaking Walmart shopping bag or something, and I just remember him like going to like like crush it up.
Gotta break it up.
Break it up so that it would go down. And I remember he came, he looked at the toilet, and he just wide-eyed it, and then looked back at me like, that came out of you? Because, I mean, we're talking about like a hog, dude. And so he's over there freaking poking at it and putting it in the bag and everything. And then I've had to do that once in my life, too. That gagged me. It smelled so bad.
And I'm just sitting outside of the bathroom just like... As he's like giving it all he's got.
It's so funny.
Oh man. Have you ever overflowed one? Have you ever overflowed a toilet? I did it at Target, and I was just like, well, gotta hit the old dusty trail. I was like, I'm out of here. Good luck.
What's bullshit? I've overflowed a toilet.
Jenny and Eric's basement.
Shut up, Ray. This story's bullshit. Because my shit wasn't even the first shit.
I love it when somebody sets you up.
This is horse shit. Okay, so I went at my aunt and uncle's basement. I just took a leak. I just had to pee. Someone had like taken a shit before me because the family was all over.
Sabotage.
I think it was like Thanksgiving or something. It was a holiday of some sort. Someone had gone, and I didn't realize that the toilet was clogged because there was nothing visible there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go to take a pee, and I'm flushing. I flush, and then like, it doesn't go down. I'm like, that's freaking weird.
I'm just gonna hit this a couple more times.
Yeah. And so I wait for it to like fill up again, and then I flush again, and it like rises higher, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? I flush it a third time, and then I see the turd spin out, and then it starts overflowing, and I'm like, shit! Shit! And so I'm like grabbing towels and stuff, and then I go upstairs, and I'm like, someone clogged the toilet. I just peed. I'm trying to flush. It overflowed.
I'm innocent!
And they started blaming me. They're like, Carter clogged the toilet. Carter clogged the toilet. I'm like, it wasn't me this time. Because
who was the first one to bust your balls about clogging the toilet? Because that's the one that did it.
Because I was notorious for clogging the toilet. I was all, like, that was my thing as a kid, is I was going to clog your toilet. It was my gift. Like, it was a superpower that I had.
There was a toilet ruining Olympics gold medalist right there.
I mean, I don't remember how old I was. I want to say.
Is that why you don't like to poop at other people's place?
I've just never liked that.
Oh.
You know, it's always like, at home I feel safer. I don't know.
That's fair.
I think it was like one of my little cousins or something, though. Honestly.
It's always the little ones. You never suspect them.
Yeah.
And like, ugh.
No, so, I don't know what it was. I was flipping through channels when I was a kid. Real little. And there was some movie, and I don't even know what movie it was because this is the only part that I saw from the movie. So I have no clue. I have no clue what the movie was. But there were two kids outside a trailer that put a snake in the septic tank. And this lady or dude, I don't know, someone went to like sit down, whether to poop or pee or whatever, I don't know. But they looked down and there's a freaking snake in the toilet.
That shit's real.
So as a kid, I saw that and it freaking scarred me. So anytime I went to sit down to do my business, I would like stand up and look and check and make sure that there's not like a snake. So I just always felt safest pooping at home for that reason. Because I didn't trust other people's toilets.
Yeah,
it's like,
snakes can...
I don't know.
Porkies.
I don't know if there's going to be a snake in your toilet. I know that there's no snakes in my toilet. I want to poop at home.
I don't know if that's porkies. I'm trying to think back to porkies now. I mean, they put a snake in something, but that was the shower to the girl's shower room, though.
This was a toilet. It was like they were outside a trailer. They put a snake in the septic.
No, but when I say snake in the girl's shower, I'm talking about his penis.
Yeah.
He sticks his wiener through the thing, and the gym teacher comes up and grabs it, and she knows his name. I know that's you, Tommy. Buddha, what?
Boila? Boila?
Boila. No, one of the other things I want to talk about before we get out of here. Do you follow the news at all? Like, do you ever just hop on there and read about what's going on in the world?
Yeah.
Have you heard about Michigan right now? About a person in Michigan winning the Mega Millions?
No.
They won $1.05 billion.
Billion?
Billion.
That's way too much money for a
But
person.
nobody has come to claim it yet. Now, if you learn the history of like the people that have won the Mega Millions and things like that, like when they've won like $10 million or whatever. First of all, you don't get all that money. Like,
right.
That's another thing people don't ever think about. Because, like, same thing with, like, if you watch The Price is Right.
The tax is real heavy.
Yeah. It's
really
like
heavy because...
It's probably like a 60% tax.
It's a...
No, not 60. I'm sorry. It's probably like 40.
I think it's 60-40. And I think that's exactly right. It's 60-40. Because it's labeled under gift.
Yep.
And so you're always taxed heavier on gift.
But still, if you won $1.05 billion, I don't care what the taxes are. Like, you're still walking away with a good chunk of change.
Yeah.
So, we've been talking about it at work. What would you do if you won the 1.05 billion?
It would be a little intimidating to win that much money. Like, I wouldn't want my name out there because then that puts kind of a target on my back. You would think, right?
I always heard that was the rule, that if you win over a certain amount, that you have to go and you have to have your picture taken with the check, and it has to be announced.
Well, you always have to like submit your name, and I would feel intimidated to submit my name.
Yeah. I saw one year one guy won like 500,000 or something, but he showed up and he was wearing a mask when they took the picture of him. Like, he had like a full face mask, and they were like, "You can't do that." And he goes, "Tell me where I can't." He goes, "Show me in the rules where I can't do that." And they were like, "Fuck!" So they had to take his picture like that. So he hid his face. I think he had like a kind of like a blasé name, like fucking
John Smith.
Yeah. Which I know John Smith, but it's funny whenever he tries to order.
I know John Smith as well.
Whenever John Smith tries to order pizza at the bar, the pizza dude shows up. He goes, "Where's John Smith at?" And John's like, "Right here." He goes, "Oh my God, you're fucking real." And he goes, and it's like, "This pizza doesn't have spit on it, right?" He's like, "No." But anyway, so I always thought that was the rule as well, is that you have to submit your name, you have to take a picture, and like everybody would know who you are. And it's like, that makes you just, one, you're going to have people that are going to be coming out of the woodwork to be like, "Can I get money for this? Can I get money for that?" Or like, God forbid, if, a situation happens where they're like, "I'm going to sue the shit out of you." Like, if they're walking up to your house and they slip and fall, and they're like, "Oh, I fell, I'm suing you."
Right.
Shit like that. But like, I don't know. Like, a lot of people, they say, like, if they get that money, that they would just quit their job. Like, "Well, I'm never working again." And it's like, that's fine, but then I feel like you lose grasp on reality at that point.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
Some states mandatory the winner be identified. Yeah. Others will be winner remain hidden. I want to say Illinois is like, winners have to be identified.
I think they at least take your name. I don't think there's anything that has to do with like a picture, but they do take your name.
Still though, even that, like, I wouldn't want that. Like,
you
don't need to know.
I would not want my name.
No. Like, that's none of your fucking business. Yeah, I won, just like everybody else had the chance to win. Like, you don't need to know who I am.
I don't want a target on my back at all.
But so let's say you win 1.05 billion.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to announce that you won it. You just have to go and collect it, and then you get taxed, and you've got, we'll say, 500 million is what you get to walk away with. What are you doing? Like, are you going to be like, "I need a 10-room or a 2-story mansion"?
What I do think I would want to do, if that was ever the case, which that will never be the case for me.
Never know.
It'll most likely never happen. I never played the lottery.
Every once in a while.
I would like to buy a chunk of land. There's part of me that wants to be like, yeah, I want to like build my own cul-de-sac and have my family and friends there, like build the house of their dreams, and we all like live on a little freaking plot of land.
Yeah, everybody can mooch off of me. Great.
Yeah, there's part of me that thinks like that, and that would be, if I had 500 million, I would be like, "Hey, what's yours and Liz's dream house?" "Okay, yeah, you're gonna live next door."
Sweet.
"Ha, if you want your dream house, you gotta live next door to me."
Oh no, I gotta live next to a chef.
Yeah, I'd want to do something like, and then I'd build like the restaurant of my dreams, and that would be it. I would probably make some donations, make some investments, put some money away in CDs of some sort, and I don't know.
See,
live a kind of a worry-free life, but
yeah, but you still,
I wouldn't
still
go
have
just like
your restaurant that you would be working in.
Yeah, that I would still be working in, absolutely.
Yeah,
and I would probably build multiple. you don't want to build too fast.
Right.
But I would build one and then.
But you wouldn't just sit back and kick your feet up and rot away.
I wouldn't sit back, kick my feet up, and run away.
That's what a lot of people do. Like, I'm gonna live off that money. And
I would still want to push and be innovative and work and that's my passion anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it's your dream.
I want to do that. It's my dream. So then, like, if I had that money, I can make my dream come true. So I would make my dream come true. Well, I would live a little more lush, of course.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna have like 20 cars that I only drive once, but
right.
I mean, I'd have my cars that I want that I would drive equally.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, what a lot of people say is they're like, oh, I would never work again. My kids would never have to work again. It's like, no, fuck that. If I won millions,
they're fucking working. Yeah. Because I never want to have a kid that like doesn't feel satisfied. Like, you know, when you accomplish something. Mm-hmm. Like, you start from nothing, and then
when
you
accomplish something,
you earn it. That's just such a great feeling. I would never want to deprive my future child, from experiencing that, ever.
Yeah. Okay.
Killer custom car collection and guns, the
That's
private
fine.
range, donate to wounded warriors, and the animal shelter.
That's fine if you want it now, because you're older, you've lived your life, you've accomplished all these things. But like, and I guarantee you, so that's my dad talking. I guarantee you that if my dad won that, we'll say 20 years ago, so when I was 9, my dad won that much money. And when it came my turn to be 16, and he would still, so when I turned 16, my mom and dad gave me, I think you gave me $1,000 towards a car. So they're like, this is what we'll gift you. We'll gift you $1,000. Mm-hmm. They go, if it's over 1,000, you have to figure out the rest of it. And I had to get a loan, and you know, I think I got the loan through them, but still, like, I had to pay them back.
You know, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I still had to earn the rest of that car.
Mm-hmm. You ended up paying for it regardless.
Yeah.
You ended up putting the money towards it.
Still, and I paid for my own fuel. I think I paid for my insurance. I went a while not having to pay for a phone until like I overcharged, and then I had to start paying for a phone. But like, still, if I wanted something, I had to pay for it. Mm-hmm. Like, if there's something I needed where I'm like, like all my pants are, you know, worn out.
Right, like I broke my arm, medical bills.
Yeah,
you know,
shit
something
like that. But like,
yeah.
if I was like, I want this, I want that, I'd be like, put it on your Christmas list. I don't know what to tell you. Like, if I got it, I got it. But like, if I wanted it, I had to earn my own money and go out and get it. Mm-hmm. And even if, we've talked about this. Even if I was like 16,
I like that.
If I was 16 and he had those millions for years, it still wouldn't just be like, okay, here's 20 grand. Like, it would be, I have to start earning something. Like, I have to show that I'm worth it for them to allow me to do this. And like, still, they would regulate what I would get. And like, that's what I would do to my kids.
Absolutely.
We're like, and they're like, well, we've got all this money. I'm like, yeah, I worked to earn that. Like, Dad, you work at a gas station, and I earned billions. So get out there and go work at a gas station. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, you never you just don't want your kids to be those kids and be entitled little shits. Mm-hmm. Never want that. Mm-hmm. My whole family, like, we're hard workers and pride ourselves in that.
Well, and that's your family, especially, that I've noticed, is like, when y'all get that passion for something, you go hard on it. Like, like, Christian's gotten that way with his streaming. Mm-hmm. Like, he's very devoted to it, and he's doing a very good job at it.
When we put our mind to something, we go like, we're in like 120%.
Yeah. And like, that's how I would still, and like, somebody asked me like, what would you do? And like, first thing I thought of was, I was like, I'd go to school. They're like, for what? I was like, whatever the fuck I wanted.
Yeah, why not?
Like, I would go to every trade school that I could. Like, I would go to all of it. I would go to mechanic school, learn how to work on all cars, like diesels, things like that. And then I would go to like welding school. I'd go like learn carpentry. Like, I would try to learn all those things. Like, go to learn to be an electrician. Like, I would want to be able to do everything, and then that way I can, you know, try to help people out and spread, you know, do whatever I want at that point. But it's like, Right now, it's like, okay, we'll just go to school. Fuck, I'm already working 40 hours plus sometimes. Like, the last thing I want to do is tack school on top of it. But if I didn't have to worry about that, like if I made school my full-time job, cool. Like if I'd have gone, when I turned 16, I was expected to get a job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need to work. When I got out of high school, it was like, okay, you're not going to college. You need to start thinking about what you're going to do to get money.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to move out, shit like that. I started getting to the factories and things like that, and eventually got to where I'm at now. But, like, I'm sure that if I was like, I'm going to go to school full time for this, I'm like, okay, well, you still need a part-time job to help you pay for this, but we'll help you out with what we can. Like, there's no problem in, like, helping your kid, but don't do it for them. And I feel like that's what a lot of the people that, if they earn those millions and they just want to spoil their kid, you're setting that kid up to be somebody that's going to, because that millions will run out. Like, millions doesn't last as long as you think.
No.
And your kid's going to eventually become a leech. And he's going to be living off of government and whatever else. And it's like, I don't know. And yes, I would donate to as many charities as I could.
Also invest in small businesses, garages, restaurants, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
If you want to go back into the community.
Yeah, and that's what I would rather do is like, and not like if I could donate something, I would rather like, not for the glory of it, of like, I'm giving you this, but I would like to hand it to them,
right?
So that I know who it's going to.
Yeah, I think donations would be cool, but I would like to invest. I would like to come across people that I think are talented and create like a little network, people that have a business plan, and I really like get a good vibe from them and feel like they are going to accomplish great things. Give them the startup capital that they need to start that business.
I would also just be a prick. And next presidential election, I would go find an independent person, not Republican or Democrat, and I would fund their campaign just to throw a wrench in the plan and be like,
give them like $50 million, like, let's turn the U.S. on its head.
Yep. Like, let's fuck them up. Because we need to get away from this two-party system. I could get into that. I'm so mad at where we're going.
Bipartisan sucks.
Well, fuck. Do you know about the Keystone Pipeline?
Yeah. Yep.
And about how it costs 11,000 jobs?
I didn't know that it cost 11,000 jobs.
The conspiracy that I've read about is Warren Buffett donated $58 million to Joe Biden's campaign. And Warren Buffett owns the railroads that does the transportation for the oil from Canada into the U.S. Mm-hmm. And if that pipeline would have gone in, Warren Buffett would have lost millions. So he paid Joe Biden that $58 million, and then Biden canceled.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. That's what I've read.
There were people that were talking about it. I came across this, and they were like, "We're gonna go to war with Canada." I'm like, "No, we're fucking not gonna go to war with Canada. Shut the fuck up. No. It's just it's a sour spot. They are upset about it.
Buy a fleet of hookers to get dirt on politicians.
It's not a bad call either. Yeah.
They all end up dying anyway.
Yeah.
But all right, that's our start. That's our.
Gotta get some food in me.
Yeah, we gotta eat and talk more about stuff. Maybe we'll get more into this. Maybe I'll go on a political tangent next week, because I've been reading about all that stuff and I just want to yell. I don't have any certain feelings one way or another.
John, are you naked?
John, are you naked again? I swear to God.
I swear to God.
That was my best trailer park moment without being in the trailer park. Had to yell at that naked neighbor again.
Nice.
God damn it. But, well, it has been a great night. Thank you for joining us on a special night, since we took one extra day to let Connor finish celebrating his big old B-Day.
Yeah.
He's now on the countdown to the Dirty 30.
Yep, I'm close.
It hasn't hit him yet. We'll see what. I think he'll be fine. I don't think he'll be as stressed as I am.
I'll be okay.
Yeah.
It'll hit me in like my mid-30s, I'm sure.
What am I doing?
Holy shit! I'm in my 30s. Yeah.
But thanks y'all for joining us. Next week we'll be back on Thursday at 8:30 for another episode.
Yep.
There's a Turtle in My Soup. Probably just talking about more random stuff and whatever comes to mind. Whatever we will feel like bitching about.
Life is eventful right now.
It is. There's a lot going on all aspects of it. So tune in next week, and we will see you then. Thanks for coming by. Okay, love you. Bye.